Another favorite example of God's protecting care is the shepherd boy David. David had a firm faith in the God of Israel, and that faith gave him great courage. When the armies of the Philistines were gathered to battle against the Israelites, the mighty Goliath came forward and hurled his challenge to individual combat. King Saul and all Israel were dismayed and greatly afraid. Day after day he renewed his challenge, but no one would face him. When young David came to the camp of Israel to deliver provisions, he heard Goliath's roar. In surprise, David asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" David asked if he could fight the man.
Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
Thou art not able to fight against this Philistine, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth.
Thy servant slew both a lion and a bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. That all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
As David went on to the field of battle, Goliath mocked him for his youth, cursed him by his gods, and shouted that he would feed his flesh to the birds and beasts of the field. David's reply is one of the great expressions of faith and courage in all our literature. It thrilled me as a boy, and it still thrills me. Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. You all know what happened next. David stunned the Philistine with a sling stone and cut off his head with his own sword. Frightened by the fall of their champion, the Philistines fled. Shouting in triumph, the armies of Israel pursued them and won a great victory.